The physics of free throws.
Chapter 2. Physics in Action.
Mr. White is in
It was one of those nights when you turn out the lights and everything comes into
Our principles for Chapter 2 include Newton's first, second, and third laws of motion, as well as the law of conservation of energy and the law of conservation of momentum.
Newton's first law of motion, also known as the law of inertia, states that unless an unbalanced force acts on an object, the object will either stay at rest or continue in straight-line motion with a constant speed. We can see in the video clip that the ball is set in motion through the air by the unbalanced force that Shaq applies to it. However, the ball does not continue going and fly off the screen. The ball travels in an arc due to the constant normal force, gravity, pushing down on the ball.
Newton's second law states that the acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the force acting on it, and is inversely related to the mass. Shaq applies a smaller force to accelerate a basketball than he would to accelerate a bowling ball at the same rate. If Shaq applied a larger force to the basketball would have a greater acceleration.
In accordance to Newton's third law, all forces have an equal, but opposite force acting in the opposite direction. Shaq pushes down on the floor, and the floor pushes back up on Shaq with an equal force. Shaq pushes upon the ball, and the ball pushes off of his hand with an equal force as well.
Due to the law of conservation of energy, the energy of the system at the end is the same amount of energy as there was present at the beginning. Shaq starts by crouching down and bending his elbows. This stores elastic potential energy. Then Shaq releases his elastic potential energy by springing up and doing work. The elastic potential energy is converted to kinetic energy, and the ball is sent flying through the air. The ball is now a projectile. As the ball flies higher in the air, kinetic energy lessens, and gravitational potential energy increases until the ball reaches the highest point of its trajectory. At this point there is no kinetic energy, but only gravitational potential energy. The gravitational potential energy is converted back to kinetic energy as the ball falls. The ball goes through the hoop, is decelerated by the frictional force of the net, and finishes by doing work on the floor. The ball bounces till it is at rest once again. No energy is created or destroyed.
By timing how long it took the ball to get from Shaq's hands to the basket, it was calculated that the ball had a vertical initial velocity of 7.1 meters per second, and a horizontal velocity of 3.8 meters per second. We took our two vectors and used the Pythagorean theorem to calculate overall initial speed, 8.05 meters per second, and the law of sines to calculate the angle Shaq had to have shot the ball. We came up with an angle of 61.9 degrees.